What if the greatest battles we face aren't external? What if they're actually waged deep within us? And what if the path to victory isn't about conquest, but really about introspection? Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we take a stack of sources, pull out the key insights, and basically give you a shortcut to being genuinely well-informed. Today, we're diving into, well, an incredibly profound piece. It's titled Kneel for the Map, a Call for Introspection. And this source, it really challenges a lot of our conventional thinking, about finding fulfillment, dealing with life's challenges. It sort of subtly but firmly pulls our focus away from the outside world and directs it inward, right into our own hearts and minds. So our mission today is pretty clear. We want to unpack this powerful call to self-awareness. We'll explore those subtle, often hidden internal foes it talks about, and ultimately try to understand why this text presents looking inward as, well, maybe the most crucial journey we can take. The title itself, Kneel for the Map, it grabs you immediately, doesn't it?
It really does.
It's such a contrast to what we usually expect from a map. We think external routes, right? Adventures, new places.
Physical territories.
But this source just flips that instantly. It shifts the focus to this deep internal quest. It's a fascinating premise right from the get-go.
Absolutely. And what's really compelling is that Kneel for the Map, it's not just like pretty poetry. It's a serious invitation to some critical, maybe even uncomfortable self-reflection. It speaks right to that core human need for clarity, for a genuine understanding of ourselves. And let's be clear, this isn't just some abstract philosophical thing. Real self-knowledge is, well, it's an incredibly powerful practical tool in almost any situation. Whether you're prepping for a big meeting, making a tough personal choice, understanding your team, or honestly, just trying to find a bit more peace day to day. The insights you get from this kind of introspection, they're fundamental. The text basically says self-knowledge isn't just nice, it's essential for living effectively.
Totally agree. And it starts this whole internal journey by kind of redefining what we even ask for, what we desire. The source opens with these really striking lines. When you open your hands tonight, ask for more than rain and bread. That immediately tells us something profound about our deeper yearnings, doesn't it?
It really does.
It's not dismissing basic needs, obviously, but it's suggesting true fulfillment needs a higher kind of asking, something beyond just survival.
Precisely. The text isn't saying ignore the basics, of course not. Those are vital. But it pushes us to think, okay, what lies beyond that? It suggests if our asking stops at rain and bread, we're kind of missing the bigger picture of what flourishing really means. True understanding, lasting peace, that requires a deeper inquiry, an exploration of our inner landscape. It's like being hungry, but instead of just asking for food, you ask why you're hungry or what truly nourishes you. It really sets the stage for a different kind of quest, where the answers aren't outside, they're found by looking within, probing beyond the obvious.
And that kind of probing, well, it leads straight to maybe the most challenging part of this source, something many of us instinctively avoid. It urges us, ask for the mirror that does not lie, to see the crown without vanity, and the cracks without despair. This isn't just a quick look in the mirror, is it? What is this mirror? And why is finding it so critical here? Sounds both liberating and kind of terrifying.
It does, doesn't it? It taps into that really profound challenge of true self-perception. This mirror that does not lie. It's not about how you look. It's a metaphor for unbiased, courageous self-assessment, stripped bare of all the filters we usually use, the ones that protect our ego or hide our insecurities. Seeing the crown, your strengths, successes, good qualities without vanity, that's more than just being humble. It challenges us to own our achievements, not as proof we're better, but as evidence of potential, of effort, of growth. It's about acknowledging your power without letting it puff you up. Recognizing what you've done, but not getting stuck there. And at the same time, seeing the cracks, flaws, vulnerabilities, mistakes without despair, that's just as vital.
Maybe even harder sometimes.
Maybe. It means acknowledging these parts of yourself without getting swallowed by negativity or self-blame, without thinking you're fundamentally broken. It's about accepting imperfection, showing yourself some compassion, and importantly, seeing it as a space for growth, not self-attack. This balance, this unflinching but kind look, that's where real insight starts. Without it, any self-improvement is built on, well, shaky ground, illusion or denial.
Okay, so if that felt like a challenge, this next part really shifts our perspective. It can be deeply unsettling for some. The source says, "For not all foes wear armor, some live in the marrow."
Wow. That's not just poetry. It's a radical redefining of our enemies, isn't it?
Completely.
Suggesting our biggest battles aren't out there but deep inside us, at our very core. It makes us face this uncomfortable idea that the biggest blocks to our peace, our growth, might be things we carry within ourselves. How does that change how we think about strength, about struggle? What are these internal foes? That's the crucial point. And the text brilliantly illustrates them with examples that feel, well, uncomfortably familiar. They expose how we subtly sabotage ourselves, take the habits we clothe as comfort. These aren't just harmless routines. Think about maybe mindlessly scrolling your phone for hours every evening, or always taking the easy way out when something hard comes up.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
These habits feel comfortable, right? Like an escape, but they subtly become these protective layers. They stop us from facing real challenges, dealing with deeper issues, or making changes that, while difficult, would lead to growth. They lull us into this false sense of security, but they're quietly draining our potential and dulling our self-awareness. It's like a barrier disguised as a cozy blanket. And because they're insidious, they're so hard to spot and even harder to change.
That's such a relatable trap. It really makes you think about how quickly a comfort like that endless social media scroll becomes a habit that just steals your time and focus, stops you doing harder but ultimately better things.
Exactly. And then think about the wounds we rock to sleep. What a visceral image that is. We all carry past hurts, right?
Hmm.
Disappointments, unresolved stuff, maybe even traumas. The instinct is often just to push them down, ignore them, hope they just vanish.
They'll pretend they're not there.
Right. But the source says they don't just disappear, they fester. Like a child you rock, but never actually helps heal, these unaddressed wounds stick around. They exert this quiet, powerful influence on how we react today. They shape our biases, drive our decisions, often without us even realizing we're being pulled by these old strings. They show up as like outsized emotional reactions or avoiding certain situations or maybe struggling to trust people. They drain us and stop real healing.
And finally, that really powerful image of in the circles we walk until grass cannot grow. That just paints such a clear picture of, well, futility, barrenness. Sounds like a huge waste of energy.
It absolutely is. This describes those repetitive, unproductive patterns, thoughts or behaviors, the mental loops we get stuck in, the same old arguments replaying, the self-limiting beliefs we keep coming back to.
Going over the same ground again and again.
Exactly. Making the same mistakes, thinking the same negative thoughts about ourselves or our situation. It stops personal growth. It completely exhausts our inner resources. Imagine literally walking in a circle on grass until it's just bare dirt. That's the effect on our minds. It drains energy, stifles creativity, stops us moving forward, finding new solutions. So for you listening, think about what these foes might look like in your own life. Is it a comfy routine you make excuses for? An old hurt you haven't really processed? A negative thought loop about what you're capable of? Just recognizing them, seeing them clearly, that's the first absolutely crucial step to taking away their power.
So after we identify these often hidden internal enemies, the source brings us back to its core message. It's summed up so well in the title. So kneel, not for plenty, but for the map of your own soul.
Oh,
This really gets to the heart of what this deep dive is about, doesn't it?
it does.
What does it actually mean to kneel for this kind of map?
Yeah.
And why is this internal quest put ahead of plenty, ahead of external stuff like success or money?
Well, kneeling. It's a posture loaded with meaning, isn't it? Humility, reverence, a deep commitment to this inner journey. It suggests you're willing to let go of the ego's need for outside approval, to acknowledge that this inner work is paramount. It needs real, focused effort. It's not just a casual hobby you fit in somewhere. And the map of your own soul, that signifies a detailed, honest, always evolving understanding of how you tick, your real motivations, deepest fears, authentic desires, core values, and how your past shapes you now. This inner guidance, this deep self-knowledge, it's presented as way more valuable than external wealth because it's the key to real fulfillment, resilience, genuine direction, no matter what's happening outside.
Right, external things can change. They can disappear.
Exactly. Plenty can come and go.
Yeah.
But a true, honest understanding of your inner landscape, that's a constant compass. It helps you navigate any storm, find meaning beyond temporary wins, and build a life that actually aligns with who you are. Without that internal map, even big external achievements can feel kind of hollow, leaving you always searching for the next thing.
And as we kind of commit to this journey using this internal map, what tools does the source say we should use to actually navigate it? It mentions foresight that cuts through shadow, for ears to hear the truth in your own voice. These sound like really powerful, almost refined internal senses. essential for digging deep.
They absolutely are. And they're not physical senses, of course. They're highly developed ways of internal discernment, sight that cuts through shadow. That's clarity, the ability to see things as they really are, unbiased by self-deception, old conditioning, or all the noise from outside. It's about stripping away illusions, challenging your own assumptions, facing reality clearly, even when it's uncomfortable, which is vital if you're trying to learn quickly and deeply, right? Our biases cast shadows. And ears to hear the truth in your own voice. That means developing an honest, unfiltered inner dialogue, learning to tell the difference between genuine intuition and, say, fear, or the echoes of what others expect, or just the general clamor out there. It's about listening deeply to that authentic inner wisdom that often gets drowned out by society's shoulds and musts that aren't really yours. These are tools for deep discernment. They help you understand the subtle landscape inside and navigate it with integrity, with the true sense of your own direction. They let you filter information, whether it's from a meeting or reading something new, through the lens of your own authentic understanding.
And this whole journey, this internal mapping, it seems to build towards two really powerful statements that just nail the message. Clarity is a sword, and self-awareness, the first gate to the kingdom within. Clarity is a sword that's such a potent active image. It suggests more than just understanding, it suggests action.
It is potent, yes, and it perfectly captures the practical power of this introspection. Clarity is a sword. It suggests this huge, sharp power to cut through confusion, through self-deception, and specifically through those internal foes we talked about, those comfortable habits, those old wounds, those circular thought patterns. It's an active, transformative force. It lets you dismantle what holds you back and carve out a path forward. It's not passive understanding. It's an active tool for self-mastery. And then self-awareness is the first gate that positions it as the essential starting point, the absolute prerequisite for unlocking your inner potential, your true self.
The entry point.
Exactly, the entry point to this kingdom within, which isn't a physical place, obviously. It's a metaphor for a state of being, wholeness, inner peace, deep understanding, untapped potential. It represents that ultimate inner sanctuary, your source of power, wisdom, resilience. And this deep dive, much like the source itself, it kind of offers a shortcut to grasping this profound idea that real power, real knowledge often lies within us, just waiting to be discovered through honest, disciplined looking inward. It's a journey that's always there for us, no matter what's going on outside.
So yeah, to wrap it all up, Kneel for the Map is this profound, really challenging call to action. It urges us to radically shift our focus away from external stuff towards internal exploration, reminding us that true fulfillment is more than just rain and bread. It pushes us to seek that unflinching mirror, to see our strengths without ego and our flaws without despairing. It shows us that our biggest obstacles often live inside us, in those comfy habits, unhealed wounds, repetitive patterns. And ultimately, it calls us to commit, humbly but fiercely, to mapping our own souls, using clarity and our true inner voice as guides. Because self-awareness really is that first essential gate to the kingdom within.
Absolutely. This deep dive really underscores how self-awareness isn't just, a nice to have or some passing wellness trend. It's a fundamental tool for navigating basically any challenge you face, for understanding your own motivations, maybe understanding others better too, for genuinely thriving. It offers this powerful, lasting framework for continuous personal growth. It encourages you to constantly check in with your inner world as your main source of wisdom and strength. It's like the aha moment that keeps on giving.
And so we'll leave you with this thought to maybe mull over. If self-awareness truly is the first gate to the kingdom within, and we've just explored this idea of charting your own soul, what does it really mean to step through that gate? And what undiscovered kingdom, what untapped potential might you start to discover once you've truly drawn your own map and committed to exploring what's there? Thanks for joining us on the deep dive. We hope this exploration has given you not just food for thought, but maybe a renewed sense of purpose for your own inner journey.